In my last Indigo Bunting video, the story ended with a quiet nest. After days of seeing the female return with food and the male on guard nearby, the nest area went silent, and I hoped that that meant the young had fledged and that the parents had moved them deeper into cover. But of course, I really wanted to see those fledglings. I wanted to know for sure they had successfully made it out of the nest, though honestly, I didn't think my odds were high at all. And then, on July 7th, I found them. I couldn't believe it. Only one of them stayed long enough to give me a good look, as the other one flew off before I could zoom in on it, but its siblings stayed for a few moments, leaning a bit to the side, taking in the glorious sunshine. As you can see, this sweet little fledgling is nothing like its bright blue dad, the color we usually associate with Indigo Buntings. Rather, it's more like its mom. And that's part of why this was so hard, because from a distance, a young Indigo Bunting can look like almost any small brown bird. A house finch, a song sparrow, a little shape in the branches you might not look at twice. This was the view I had at first. Two fledglings side by side, buried behind leaves and branches. Not easy to film, not easy to identify, and definitely not easy to find. But the male helped lead me there. Earlier in the season, he sang boldly from his usual perches. But now his behavior had changed. His songs were shorter, less frequent, and between them he gave these soft chip calls. I don't know exactly what he was communicating, but it felt like contact, like he was staying connected to his young that were hidden deeper in the cover. So I listened for him and followed his movements over a number of days. I watched where he appeared, where he disappeared, where the calls seemed to come from. And eventually, the moment I was waiting for arrived. To say I was thrilled is an understatement. I was so happy to witness that the nest had indeed succeeded and the young were out in the world and growing. Finding them led to a bit of a light bulb moment. I realized that the pattern of this male's quieter behavior had helped lead me to his young. I wondered whether the other Indigo Bunting males might do the same. So I started listening for shorter songs, quiet chip calls, and the sound of more than one bird calling from the same hidden patch of green. And 2 days later, on July 9th, that listening paid off. In male number one's territory, I heard chipping from low in the shrubs. Then I heard another bird answering, and then I spotted the female. She had a caterpillar, which she thrashed like there's no tomorrow. And when she flew off with it, I knew a fledgling was close by. She landed on a low branch where a young bird was quivering its wings in that unmistakable begging posture, and she fed it. Oh my goodness. Now, I know the footage is shaky and the view is partly blocked, but the behavior is clear. An adult female feeding a fledgling. And there was a second fledgling nearby, which I never got on camera. This meant that a second Indigo Bunting family had successful fledging in the same urban patch. I'm telling you, I think I was walking on air for days. To see this outcome was more than exciting. It was deeply moving. You know, when you spend so much time following individual birds, you find yourself invested in their little lives. You root for them, you worry about them, and forever wonder what is happening beyond your view. These birds let me witness a small part of their world, and I am forever grateful that I got to see any of it, let alone so much of their story. This is Birding with Kaliopi. where sometimes the most exciting bird of the season isn't the brightest one, but the one that tells you the family made it.